So the weigh-in for Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder has literally just finished. I watched it there on BT Sport. Yeah, so interesting. Tyson Fury weighed in at 256 pounds. Looked in good shape. Looked a bit more muscly than he was in his last few fights, which is to be expected. He's, had a bit more time to get the strength up. He looked very good. Deontay Wilder weighed in suspiciously and surprisingly light, 212 pounds. That's insanely light. That's a career lightest. Made all the worse was the fact that he was wearing a mask. Now, I don't know how much that mask weighed, but let's just assume it weighed a pound. So we're talking about a fighter weighing 210. There are cruiserweights like Marco Huck who probably gained more weight than that in between fights, as in like from a weigh into a fight. So, Deontay Wilder, he's going to be giving up a lot of weight. But I do think he's going to perform at his best. I think Wilder, when he's down in the low 220s or the 210s, that's when you see him at his best. When you see him up in the high 220s, like he did against Eric Molina, like he did against Arthur Spilka, I don't think he performs as well. I really don't. I think that if he was to go over 230, you would see a very, very poor Deontay Wilder. I think this kind of weight in the teens or in the very low 220s, perfect weight for Deontay Wilder. I think that works best for him. At the end of the day, Deontay Wilder is an athlete. He is athletic as hell. So the more he tries to train, probably the more weight he's going to take off. So it's a kind of double-edged sword. So I think this is a good weight for Deontay Wilder. I think Fury's looking in good shape as well. Literally just got off the stage. Seen the face-to-face. They kept them fighters apart. I'm starting to wonder why Wilder wore the mask. I made a video yesterday and I said I don't think Deontay Wilder was that mentally shook. I think it was more the event. I haven't seen some more kind of videos. I seen a video where it was a British reporter, I think his name was Garrett something, I forget the guy's name. I've seen him on Box Nation a few times. He kind of snapped at him a bit. Maybe now I am starting to think that Deontay Wilder maybe he is getting a little rattled and he is starting to feel the pressure a bit. Wearing the mask on the stage. He's never done that before. At least not that I can remember. I know he didn't do it against Ortiz. He's normally screaming bomb squad every time. So, yeah. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm hyped after that weigh-in. It was fun. It was just the anticipation of seeing what was going on. So, yeah. It looks good. Now, I got to get into my breakdown of this fight. So I'm going to go into my breakdown. I'm going to give a prediction. I think that Tyson Fury, people have been saying a lot this week that he's going to try and box southpaw against Deontay Wilder. I think that his best tactic would be to switch it up. As in, don't stay in the one stance too long. I think if he switches a couple of rounds southpaw and a couple of rounds orthodox and he switches up the angles a bit, I think that would benefit him more than just staying in the one stance the whole time. I think that he's not the biggest one-punch puncher. He's not the biggest puncher in general. And if he's not fighting with his lead hand, so if he's throwing, his predominantly weaker hand, which is the left hand, as his power shot, I don't think it's going to deter Deontay Wilder. I think if Deontay Wilder feels he's getting outboxed a bit, he'll think, I can just walk straight through that left hand. There's nothing on it, and I'm going to land my right hand. I think that might be what will happen. Whereas I think if Tyson Fury stays, and I'm slipping over myself here. I know it's mad. I think if Tyson Fury kind of switches it up a bit. And, does, like, say, 3-round southpaw. Maybe the first 3-round southpaw just to fiddle Deontay Wilder out and then switches into the orthodox stance. Then I think we can start to see things get a bit different. Because I think that if Deontay Wilder is getting outboxed and he is starting to feel there's not much on Tyson Fury's straight left. And Tyson Fury then decides to, switch it up a bit. So he's, jabbing with his left and then, leading his backhand with his right. There'll be a bit more on that right hand. I do think that Tyson Fury... I don't think he's a big puncher, but I think he's got underrated punching power, definitely. So I think that Deontay Wilder might double think about going and taking a few of his straight right hands if he's feeling them. Whereas Deontay Wilder, whenever he fights taller guys with skill, he always, punch output goes way down. He's just looking to set up the right hand, looking constantly to set up the right hand. He did it against Ortiz, he did it against Washington, and he did it against, who was the other guy? Calvin Price. Now, I know Ortiz is not as big as Deontay Wilder, but Ortiz had good long arms. That's one thing you know about Ortiz. He's long arms, so he can jab with Deontay Wilder, and he's a slick, skilled southpaw. Tyson Fury, I would say maybe he's not as technically good as Luis Ortiz, but he's definitely got the skills, and he's a lot bigger than Luis Ortiz. Probably doesn't hit as hard, but he's a lot bigger. Going into this fight, I think that Deontay Wilder... he's really got a bank on, Tyson Fury slowing down late on in this fight and the reflexes not being quite there. Tyson Fury has been talking a lot about, having a shootout with Deontay Wilder, having, an exchange, stuff like that. And I'm going to tell you now, if Tyson Fury gets into an exchange with Deontay Wilder, he's going to get knocked out. in my opinion. He should not. If I was in Tyson Fury's corner, whether it was Ben Davis and Freddie Roach, I'd be telling him, do not exchange with Deontay Wilder. He is lethal in exchanges. That's when he gets to most people. Where have you ever seen Deontay Wilder come out second best in an exchange? Never. I don't think I ever have. So I would be advising Tyson Fury against that. Do not try and exchange with Deontay Wilder, and always stay on your toes. If you are miles ahead in this fight into the 11th round, do not have any whatsoever lapses, because this guy is going to be a lot more aggressive than Klitschko. He's faster than Klitschko, with the right hand at least. And he probably hits a bit harder than Klitschko with the right hand anyway. So I would be advising Tyson Fury to just make sure he's on his toes and do not try and exchange with Deontay Wilder. If you're getting off well with your boxing, then you're good to go. Do not exchange with him. Saying all that, I got to give a prediction on this fight. And I've been pretty much following this fight since Belfast, because I was up in Belfast at Windsor Park. I was close enough to the ring to see what was going on and to hear the exchange that was going on with these guys. I seen Tyson Fury against Pianetta. I've been saying, I think I've had an idea of who's going to win this fight since it was announced. Really, in the last week, I've been kind of going back and forth a bit. And yesterday, when I made my video on Deontay Wilder, I said I was going to give my prediction today. I haven't seen a few of Deontay Wilder's kind of interviews. It's made me kind of double think a few things. But my prediction for this fight, I'm going to stick with what I know. I'm going to stick with what I've been saying. I'm going to go with Deontay Wilder by stoppage, by knockout in the mid-rounds. I think that after the 8, you watch the space between the 7th round to, I'd say, the 10th round. I think Deontay Wilder will land something, and I don't think Tyson Fury will get out of it. I could be wrong, but I just think the reflexes aren't quite there. As I've said in other videos, if this fight was happening this time next year and Tyson Fury had slowly but surely had like step-up fights, like, you know, your Travis Kaufmans, your Amir Mansours, you know, your Johan Dupas of the world, then I think I'd probably pick Tyson Fury to win this fight. But right now, I just can't be confident enough that he has the reflexes, that he's with it enough to be able to win this fight. So I'm going with Deontay Wilder in this fight. I think Deontay Wilder's going to win this fight by knockout. I'll know tomorrow morning around about 6 a.m. if either I'm right or wrong. If I'm wrong, so be it. If I'm right, then I'm right. So that's my thoughts on this. You know, feel free to leave yours down below. I am so looking forward to this fight. I cannot wait. I just looking forward to this. It's a 5 a.m. start where we are, but hey, has to be done. So those are my thoughts on this, and please leave yours down below.